Girl, she stole a bus. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If it's your first time here ever, welcome for the first time. So today I'm doing something a little different. It's been a while since I've done like a let's play. I've done one for The Sims. I kind of did one for SL. It was like the Vanderbuilt Diaries or something like that. This one's gonna be a little different because when I was playing, I wasn't able to like speak or go on video because honestly, I was just zoned out. When I'm in SL, I don't feel like doing any of that. So today I'm actually just going to be like watching it back and doing some voiceover and kind of telling you about Meela's story. In Bayside, we play a little game called Bayside City Life. We use Zeo Life and, you know, the whole town's scripted for it. So you can kind of treat it like a real city and take care of stats and do all that kind of thing. So we're going to do that today and see what hijinks and shenanigans Meela got into with her 97 children and 48 jobs. All right, let's get this started. Alright, so Meela's character in Bayside. So the backstory of Bayside is that, I don't know, there's something a little supernatural going on. Go read the backstory. I've already forgotten what it is. But long story short, Meela and her brother have basically acquired the majority of the property in Bayside. So basically they own the city. I kind of took that from Schitt's Creek, like, you know how they own the whole town? I wanted them to own the whole town. And they didn't do this because they had some like huge interest in Bayside City. It was because for whatever reason, their father was investing a lot of time and interest in the city. They have no idea why, but they don't trust their father. They think he's super sketch. And they found it just a little suspicious that he was investing all this money and all this time. But there was this one business contact that he had in Korea. And basically Graham is her brother, Graham and Meela went to fly to Korea to meet this contact. He liked them a lot more than the father, and he decided to do business with them. So they basically were able to acquire the city in the way that their father was trying to. But now, you know, they've never owned a city and they have all this craziness on their hands. So they packed up, they moved here, and they, you know, at first the city was pretty run down. So they were like, oh, we're doing like a huge, hello. So they're like, oh, we're doing this like huge overhaul of the city. We'll make it so much better. The residents will love us. They'll be so happy. But of course, when they got here, they were met with a lot of resistance. So basically they were like, all right, so they don't like us all that much. We've got to figure out how to make them like us a little more. And then they also had to figure out a lot about like the city's politics. And then more importantly, the city seems to have all of these different factions and groups that they have no idea about. So there are a lot of people that just have foundational history there. But also what they noticed, Bayside seemed to become a place where a lot of people were like escaping from other places. So they're just doing their best to like get to know people in town, get to know things the people in town are passionate about. So one of Meela's great ideas was she was going to try to get involved with as many communities or groups of people or businesses or companies or jobs as possible. So she actually works as kind of like an apprentice at a bunch of different places. I'm dying. So right now she's pumping her breast. But so she works at a bunch of different places, and you know, she'll volunteer at the police station and she'll volunteer at the medical center sometimes, just wherever she can to get to know as many people as possible. Of course, also, you know, she and her brother had put their life savings into the city, so they're really banking on doing well here and not having to go back to their father. So they haven't talked to him since they stole the city from him, so you know, more to come on that. But in the meantime, Meela's spit out like 3 babies. So this is her morning routine. Ezra usually leaves for work a little bit before her, so they have a full-time nanny. If you're new here, you haven't met Michaela is their full-time nanny. She lives with them. Right now in Bayside, she actually doesn't live with them. So in their previous house, she lived there. When they first moved to Bayside, they rented her an apartment right above there so she could always be there, but they've kind of like loosened things up a little bit. Michaela went away to go to school, so they had to hire another nanny for a while, and actually they had a couple of different nannies rotating, but now Michaela is back and she doesn't live with them, but she's close enough, but she does work pretty much full time, especially because they have 3 babies now. So this is a little baby Akello, if you haven't watched this before. So basically Meela's routine consists of getting Akello up, getting her a bath, getting her a diaper change, fixing her a bottle, then pumping for the babies. And then she'll have a little bit of time for herself while Michaela just hangs out with the kids for a minute. So she's gonna come in here, she's gonna do her makeup and try to get ready for the day. as easy as possible. You know, when Akella was like super baby, she did rely on Meela a lot more. I think she's learned how to parent a little more, especially with having 3 kids. You know, the twins were a surprise. So the last time we did one of these kind of role play videos, she had just found out she was pregnant. She didn't know she was having twins. That was a complete surprise. And, you know, back then her biggest concern was how she was gonna break or surprise Ezra with it. And, you know, twins was a surprise. All right, so she's getting ready. We struggled with this headband, honey. It was a struggle, but we're not going to end up wearing it. So another thing, so they've just moved into this new apartment. They decided to completely, so Ezra and Meela decided to completely leave their house behind. And they really wanted to show the people in Bayside that they weren't some like rich family coming in to change everything. Granted, they changed everything, but they wanted to really try to relate or seem relatable to the people in town. So they live here. They haven't completely finished decorating. They let go of a lot of their furniture and just got rid of it. They're hoping to continue to develop Bayside to possibly build a home for themselves. But right now they're staying in the Vanderbuilt apartments. And you'll notice, so their room, it's kind of bare. They put a lot. They brought as much as they could fit onto one truck to make the drive. They didn't want to, you know, do a bunch with hiring companies. And they didn't want to put on a big show. You know, they already had a lot of eyes on them when they moved to the city. So just wanted to keep it simple. One truck, drive here. Meela drove the car, Ezra drove the truck. You know, Meela hopped back and forth as much as she felt like it. And they just drove to Bayside. So, you know, goal is to buy a home. But for now, they just have some of the furniture from their old house, and the rest are just gonna have to start over and buy. So here, Meela was playing with wigs. She couldn't decide on what wig to wear for the day. We decided to do short hair, don't care. Akella absolutely loves this little rocking horse. This is her favorite toy. This is between this and the blocks. The blocks are actually Zeolife. So you'll notice. So we'll mix this with like OOC and IC stuff. But both Meela and Akella are Zeolife. So I have to take care of Akella. And Akella always, like, we'll start with the diaper change in the morning. But before Meela leaves, of course, a homegirl wants another diaper change. And Meela likes to be a lot more involved. Like, she doesn't, usually she used to just have Michaela do that if she was really trying to head out. But, you know, she wants to be more involved and spend more time with them. But, you know, it's time to head out for work. So Ezra's already gone for the day. He's actually still commuting to another area in California. She is actually going to start her day. So basically she splits up her time over the week at a few different places. Today she's actually going to be hanging out at Bayside PD. She's an apprentice there, and she just basically helps out with whatever they ask her to help out with. They're probably the toughest ones on her in terms of all the places she volunteers. So, you know, sometimes she regrets this whole this whole volunteer thing. But, you know, best driver on the grid. She's driving she's driving over there. You'll notice she's super hungry and she's so thirsty because she was getting Akello's food and baby's food and everyone already. She didn't remember to eat, so she's gonna actually stop by the food court before she goes in. Luckily, it's right across the street from the police department, so she can just head over here and grab a breakfast burrito. This is probably her favorite food truck. She will sneak out of the house in the middle of the night at like midnight and come get some tacos and burritos because this place is 24/7. So you know how it is. So she's gonna just chill out here for a minute. She's a little early for work, so she's gonna have her breakfast burrito and, you know, a soda because that's all they had for her. But, you know, it's the middle of the day. It's not like she had to be there at 8 a.m. She usually gets to the police department by noon, so she's fine. She needs a little bit of caffeine and energy anyway. She wants a little bit of a sugar rush. But yeah, she's hanging out here. This is also her favorite area in town because, you know, this is one of the only areas in Bayside. Of course, Bayside's in Southern California, so there's not much foliage. But this area has some of that, so she likes hanging out here. It makes it feel very much like fall. All right, so she's finally in her office, or in the police department. She starts off, honestly, by checking some emails. She'll check to see what's going on in town, if there are any reports or anything that's come in. She tries to catch up on what's been going on. More so, she catches up on her YouTube channel first. So she's just going through, checking in on comments, just looking back at videos, and just hanging out a little bit. She's not quite on the clock yet. She would normally be in uniform. She's gonna change into that in a minute. But, you know, she just wants to hang out for a little bit, catch up, see what was going on. It was still pretty quiet. It seems like a lot of them were out for, you know, a run, a police run, or whatever they do, whatever cops do. I don't know. But, you know, sometimes she doesn't like to go out in her uniform. So she usually changes when she gets here, just right in the bathroom. And yeah, welcome to the bathroom. So So she's gonna like take care of that and then just get dressed. So in a second, she'll put on her little uniform, honey. And basically, she didn't get like an official uniform. Honestly, Bayside PD is a little, I don't want to say corrupt or underdeveloped, but they need some help. So there's no official uniform in Bayside. They all basically wear all black, but all they have to have is their badge and their gun. So she wasn't required to get anything special, and especially because she's an apprentice, they just tell her to wear all black. And, you know, things in Bayside are pretty lax. So beyond that, there's no major dress code. They said, you know, it's best to have closed-toe shoes just because things can get a little sticky. So this is what she wears when she's here. She does have a little badge. They give her a badge just so, you know, no one would question her and stuff. But usually she'll be sitting behind the desk and just playing receptionist for the day. But today there was a reporting that a city bus was stolen. So Bayside Municipal called in and said a city bus was stolen. And basically they usually send her to a crime scene first to, you know, put down all the ropes and get everything set up for the actual, you know, police and detectives come check it out and do their thing. So she came by a little early and she set all of that up for them so they can look into whatever it is. Of course, she's the first one here on the scene. So when she gets back to the office, she is going to have to, like, you know, make a report of what she saw. But she's going to just set all this up until another officer comes to relieve her. And yeah, that's it. But this story is a little bizarre. So, you know, this bus went missing probably last night in Bayside, and they only got a call about it this morning, and they hadn't gone out to investigate yet, but then they got a call by someone that there was a bus crashed in front of their house. So they kind of knew where it was. So once they got that call, they sent her out here to look into it. She's just checking around the bus to see if there's anything else that, you know, she wants to highlight. Granted, she's not going to be looking into all of the, you know, fine details that they'll come over, but, you know, she just does a really quick sweep and moves on about her day. And that's all set for them. All right, so next stop, she has to get back to the station. She's gonna file this report. That honestly took her a lot longer than expected because it took the other police a while to show up, as it usually does in Bayside. This is what their police are kind of known for, taking their sweet time. She did pause for a minute to call home to see how the babies were doing and how Michaela was doing, if they needed anything. They said they were good, so she's gonna head back. You'll notice she's still a little hungry and thirsty. It's like, homegirl, you gotta eat sometimes. So, you know, she totally drives amazing. She's the best driver in the world. And she's just gonna head over to Little Tokyo and grab something to eat really quick. So she's gonna take a quick lunch break while she's over here and try to come back to life, honey, because she is struggling. You know, Little Tokyo is her favorite area in town. So beyond this little market, she always finds things that are really good. Like it's a little grungy, but she loves the food here, and she hangs out at the bar Otaku that's right upstairs sometimes on the weekend. So, you know, she's very familiar with Little Tokyo. She hangs out here often. So, you know, she's just gonna have her little soda waters and have her little ramen and then head back to the station after this. Alright, so she was about to head back to the station, and she remembered she's not going to want to cook dinner later. So she grabbed a couple of sushi rolls for her, Michaela. Azura usually gets home really late on Mondays, so he'll figure out what he wants to eat. So she's heading back now. Again, best driver in the world. She totally made that stop sign. The Bayside Carnival's in town. She hasn't gone yet. She wants to bring the kids, so that's gonna be a whole project. Alright, so she's finally made it back to the station. So beyond that, there are like other random things they have her do. Like sometimes those have her sitting in with people when they're on lockup. Okay, this is the point where she realized that breakfast burrito may have been a bad choice today. So she was struggling for a little bit. But yeah, so they usually have her like chilling out in a lockup, or she's filing stuff, or just at the front desk. But again, because she was the first one on the scene today, she does have to file a report for this, and she also was able to find the CCTV footage from that scene. So I'm gonna include that so you can see. This was sketchy. They believe it was the suspect that they caught on camera. So they actually saw the person. It was a woman that was driving. They said in her 20s or 30s, and they now have just, you know, they're asking the people of Bayside to report anything if they know anything. But all they found on the scene was like a spilled soda can and a belt, and that was pretty much it. But they have a video of homegirl you know, casing the bus, getting off of it, and then walking away from it. So who knows what that story was, why she stole the bus. But the bus has been towed and it's being repaired. So that's pretty much her day. So she's done at the police department. She's gonna finally make her way back home and play with her babies. Today she's actually thinking that it would be nice to go have like a family movie night at Lab. So she's gonna drive home, probably get a color change. Color always wants to change, honey. And you know, again, best driver on the grid. So she's gonna, you know, try to get parked, and then yeah, I don't know what they're gonna watch at Lab. So she's thinking just something cute and Halloweeny for the family. Alright, so she's home, and as she suspected, you know, she was calling out to Michaela. Michaela was just about to change her, and she decided, you know, she's just gonna come in here and change her herself, because Little Miss, this their little time together. She has to like bribe her with toys to get her to stay still long enough to actually be changed. So she takes care of that. Akelo's also super cranky right now, so she's like, we're gonna get you a nap before we even go out. So she gets her all nice and changed and all ready, and then she's actually gonna go lay her down for a nap because baby girl needs it. And she resisted for a second, but again, homegirl was tired, so she went down and she went to sleep. Good night. The other babies are so easy. They sleep all day, but there are times when the twins will wake Akelo up, and Akelo will start crying, and the twins are crying, and everybody's crying. So, you know, hopefully Michaela didn't have that day. But Meela just decided to get dressed. Again, she's always thirsty. Homegirl is like the most dehydrated thing in the world. She got one of these little vitamin waters because she also feels just very energized and refreshed afterwards. So she got one of those. She chatted up with Michaela a bit. Michaela told her it wasn't really a bad day. The twins kind of slept. Her and Akelo chilled out. Akelo didn't have any TV time because she knew we wanted to go to Lab to watch the movies. So Akelo just played with her blocks and played with her toys, and they just hung out all day. So pretty easy, and she's fed. So once they get that sorted, we're gonna actually take a walk to Lab. Miss Superhuman wants to, you know, try to not be as dependent on Michaela, just so Michaela doesn't feel weird about taking vacations, because that's usually what used to happen. And she also felt weird about going to school. So this time Meela wants her to feel like, you know, if you have to take the day off, take the day off. We will be fine. So she tries to do as much as possible, even when Michaela is just there. So she, you know, buckled the twins on, and they're gonna head down to the lobby and try to get Akelo in a stroller. The stroller process proved to be a struggle. Akelo may or may not have kicked her in the face several times, but they finally got out the door. A little paparazzi snap on the way there. And they just decided to walk over. It was a really nice day out. It was still super warm, but you know, nice cool breeze. So she decided to take a lap around the block and then head into Lab. Alright, so she's gonna park that stroller in the corner and head upstairs. The only thing that proved difficult was holding 3 babies to go up the stairs. And I know you guys see her trailing behind Meela, so just remember, Akelo is not a mesh baby. She's actually an avatar, so you know, there's no way to make it perfect. But here they are, so they decided to just have their little chill night. She popped a little seat down. Those are actually, you know, tucked away at Lab, and they decided to watch Coraline. We sent a blast out to the city, inviting anyone else to come join if they felt like it, and that was pretty much her day. So, you know, next time she'll get into some other shenanigans in her other job, but you know, this was a pretty long day for them, and that's it. Hope you enjoyed. But thank you guys for watching. If you do like videos like this or content like this, be sure to leave a thumbs up and comment. And I'm also thinking of doing this thing. I have a playlist started on life in Bayside stories, because there are 2 other YouTubers that live in Bayside, and I saw one has her own story coming along, and I saw another one. I can't find that one. But I've created a playlist, so just all these different stories in Bayside that it'd be kind of cool. So you can follow a bunch of different storylines in Bayside, and you know, check out what some other people are doing with their time here. But again, you know, come play, come hang out. Bayside City Life is what we're calling the game. Granted, it's just Zeo Life, and it's just, you know, giving us stats and doing all of that good stuff. But I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, be sure to thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, por favor, and I will see you guys very soon. Bye.
Just the other day, saw you looking my way.